Hi everyone, and welcome to another reading vlog here at the Book Refuge. So it is Monday night, the December 16th, and I'm waiting for my friend Jonathan to get here. If you don't know, which most of you probably don't, him and I started a podcast with each other about 6 weeks ago, and we filmed the first 2 episodes, and then we haven't had any time to record. So we're actually going to record 3 episodes tonight that will hopefully get us through, well, not hopefully, will get us through the rest of December and the beginning of January. And then we'll hopefully in the new year set up a more regular schedule. But it's actually been really good because I was able to practice editing, get a better feel for, I re-listened to ours a lot to see, to get some tips into how we can do it better. And I'm feeling pretty good about it. So anyway, that's what's here. I guess I'll show you. That's what's set up right here. My friend Jonathan was still at work. So hopefully he'll be here soon. But while I'm waiting for him, I am setting up Romanceopoly 2020. So I put it in my planner on the page of one of the coloring pages that I'm not going to do. And this year, Romanceopoly, which is hosted by Under the Covers Book Blog and Peace Love Books, Jess at Peace Love Books, who was one of the first romance booktubers that I found, and I absolutely love her. I did Romanceopoly last year, some of you will remember, but I didn't finish it out because what happened is I ended up doing all of the ones I wanted to do. And then the last 20%, which was about 10 of them, I just didn't want to do them. And so I drained out. So what I'm doing this year is on their website, which it's just romanceopoly.com, which you can get these printouts as well as these cards that I'm cutting out, which are each of the squares. And this year they're doing where there's 2 different tracks because a lot of people finished it really quickly and just started going through it again. So they have a sun set and a moon set. So the way that I'm doing it is I'm cutting out all of them. I have the sun and the moon, and then on mine I cut this in half, and so I have a sun and a moon side, and I'm just gonna put all of the cards that I want to do the prompts into a jar, and then I'll draw a couple of them, and I don't want to make my TBR so big, so I'm going to see if they will overlap with my TBR game that I'll be starting as well. And if not, it's okay, because I'm only going to be doing 5 books from the game, and so I can pull 2 or 3 of these, and it'll be fine. And so I'm only going to put the ones in there that I want to do, even though the purpose of Romanceopoly is to show you romance in different genres. I did it last year, and those were the books that ended up putting me in a slump, was trying to do ones that I didn't want to do. So I'm not going to do that this year. I just want it to be, to give me an excuse, help me direct which romances I'm reading, help it correlate with my physical TBR that I already own, and just something fun to do on the channel, because I find it's always fun when you're playing a game for your TBR. It's always really fun. So yeah, I'm finishing cutting those out. After Jonathan goes, I'll probably be editing one of these videos, but then I'm going to try to finish. I started yesterday When the Scot Ties the Knot by Tessa Dare. This is a really interesting setup where it's another one where a girl was given a castle. This is the 3rd one in the Castles Ever After series. And this girl made up this Scottish warrior. This is during a war that's happening, and she made up this guy named Logan Mackenzie, Captain Logan Mackenzie, and so she addressed these letters to him and sent them off because she's kind of she has social anxiety, and she didn't want to be at parties, so she made up someone she was in love with so she could get out of it. Well then, because she couldn't actually marry this person, she had him die, and so she'd been writing letters to a real person, and then she killed him off. And he had been getting these letters, which he just had no idea what to make of them. And then he was kind of mad when she killed him off because he missed getting her letters. Well, now the war is over, and he is kind of like a chief or the captain or the leader of his men. and he has nothing to offer them after the war because the English had them fight for them and then took all their lands while they were gone. And so he knows that this girl was given a castle, and he is going to make her marry him or else tell everyone that she lied. So it's a bit of blackmail, so it's not the greatest setup, but it's already like winning you over. And there is tons of Outlander references. Like, I can tell Tessa Dare is a fan because just the names of everyone and just some of the discussions, it's very Outlander, and I'm good with that. So I'm 100 pages in, and I want to read some more of that. As well as I made DNF Founder Side this week. I just have a rule, like if a book sits too long without me reading it, then it needs to get DNF'd at least temporarily. And Murphy had such mixed feelings about it, and I'm not really feeling it, that I'm just gonna cut it if it's not working. So anyway, that's enough of an update. I'm gonna get back to cutting these up, and I'll check back in with you later. Hi, we're doing a walk and talk today. We haven't done that in a while. So it is Thursday, and it has been a busy but awesome week. I've mostly been reading Drums of Autumn this week. I've gotten through like 200 more pages of it so far. I'm halfway done, which is awesome. Ideally, I'd kind of like to finish that this week because I really need to pick Supernova back up, and I just need to finish some things before I can be in the right mindset for it. But I also am getting further in Lair of Dreams, which I may pick up physically because the audio is just kind of dragging for me right now, and I want to power through some more of it. But then today I started The Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller. I got an e-arc for this, and I was so excited because I love Trisha's Daughter of the Pirate King duology, and I have the like Wilds one, but I haven't read it, but I got approved for an arc, and this one is freaking fantastic so far. I'm like 20% in, and I'm loving it so much. So it's about this girl named Alessandra, and she's decided she's going to get betrothed to the Shadow King and then kill him so she can be queen. That's literally the premise of it. Now, the Shadow King, his name is Callias, and so far there's nothing evil about him. Like, the shadows are just a special power he has. They allow him to travel through walls. I haven't really seen the shadows do anything else yet, but Alessandra, she is the second born daughter. Her older sister already tried to win the king, and she didn't do it. She wasn't able to do it. And Alessandra is just so sassy and honestly a little bit like evil, because the only reason she wants to kill the king is to be queen, and she wants power. It's not about winning him to love her so they could lead together. Nope, she wants to kill him and be queen, which I'm totally fine with. I'm sure she'll win you over, or win me over, but it's just, I need to start seeing a little bit more, because besides her being charming and like you're in her point of view, so you're supposed to be on her side, I'm not cool with her just wanting to marry him so she can murder him, because this isn't an evil guy. He doesn't do anything wrong. She just wants it because she's ambitious. So kind of the worst version of a Slytherin. I don't have anything bad to say about Slytherins in, normal day-to-day. I have a couple friends who are Slytherin. I think Slytherins are awesome. But she's the bad version of one, where it's ambition for ambition's sake. So kind of the premise of the book is supposed to be that, like, she has to keep him alive long enough to get married to him before she can kill him, and there's other people trying to kill him, and they have crazy chemistry with each other, and so obviously I know she's gonna fall in love with him, but I don't have seen a big enough reason for her to want to kill him yet, besides because she wants to be queen. And I just have a little bit of a problem with that, because it makes her unlikable to me, and I don't want her to succeed. And even though I know she will like change. Like her only reason is that she's been overlooked because she's a second daughter. People don't respect her enough, and so she wants to do it. So it's really, to me, kind of like the origin of a villain or like an anti-hero. So I don't know. I still am loving it because Trisha she makes the pages fly by. It's just, I'm not on our character's side at all because her motivation is just because I want power. So that's fine. I just don't really like it that much. But I'm liking the book. So anyway, I will let you know how it goes. I'm like 20% through it already and I'm loving it. So I may get through it before the end of this vlog. So we'll see. Hi everyone. I'm feeling really weird. So I just got my eyes dilated. And so I like can't see close. Like I can see, you know, you can see far away, but you can't see close. So I look really blurry to myself right now. I got my eyes dilated because besides it being my like eye exam time, I'm going in for a LASIK consultation soon because I have wanted to get LASIK for a while, and in the new year, my job is like upping the amount that they will pay towards, you know, how much the insurance will pay for LASIK, as well as I got a referral from my eye doctor for an even like better discount. And so you have to get like your eyes dilated and get stuff like tested or whatever before you go in to get your consultation. So my doctor did that for me. And so now I can't really see, which is sad because I can't like read right now. I'm going to see The Rise of Skywalker in about 2 hours, which I'll be able to see that because it'll be far away, so it'll be fine. But since my plans of reading before the movie are ruined, I'm going to start The Witcher right now because I can't do anything up close. So I was like, let's just go ahead and start The Witcher and get my gorgeous Henry Cavill on. That sounds like Henry Cavill on. So I'm going to do that. I'm kind of like, besides, I'm really excited to watch it. So I haven't read the books, you'll know. I have the first couple books, but I just haven't been super interested in starting them yet. So I'm going to start watching this show because I've heard really good things about it so far. I'm trying to stay off Twitter because I don't want any like spoilers about it, besides hearing some non-spoiler things that it's really good. So I'm going to do that. Yeah, I'm excited. Otherwise, I've been doing a little bit of like a binge in the middle of the week, reading some Kindle. Not Kindle Unlimited because I bought these, but I started listening to this podcast called Fated Mates because I heard Bree Hill talk about it. Bree, girl, I'm so glad that you found my channel and I found yours because you read such good romances and a lot of the same things I like. And so I found Fated Mates, which is a podcast with Sarah McLean, who is a historical romance author, and Jenn Koplick, sorry that I can't pronounce that. And they read like different romances and like talk about them in like really in depth. And so I listened to their episode because I'm kind of just picking ones that I know so far, and then I'll start at the beginning and go all the way through. Because their first season is all about the like Immortals After Dark by Kresley Cole, and I haven't read any of those, so I didn't want to start at the beginning until I've like read some of those books. But they read Sierra Simone's Priest for one of theirs, and which I love. You'll know that's on one of my favorite self-published lists. I love it so much. It is so just like weird and whatever. But they were talking about some of her other series, and she has this one called the Markham series, which is like an erotic Jane Eyre retelling. And there's 3 of them, and then I guess there's a spin-off series about some of the other characters, and like they're really short ones. So there's 3 of them, but really they all fit together as like one book. but the first one is called The Awakening of Ivy something. I can't remember. Leafhold. I'd look it up, but I literally can't see in front of my face right now. And I'm in the middle of the second one right now, and I'm loving it because I love Jane Eyre. And so the Rochester character, his name is Mr. Markham. And it's like, ooh, it gives me like all the feels. So that's what I'm kind of binging right now. I also decided I'm going to start Elisa Claypez because I want to start her Wallflower series. So I'm going to start with Secrets of a Summer Night. But I also, this weekend, I'd really like to finish Drums of Autumn before I like drive home next week, because I don't want to bring that one with and be annotating it while I'm home. So super excited to do that. So that's what's happening right now. And we'll see what I all get through this week. And I will have some non-spoiler thoughts, so don't worry about it. But you can skip the next clip if you want, because it'll be some of my like non-spoiler thoughts about Rise of Skywalker. I may make a spoiler review for that, as well as in my podcast with my friend. We're going to talk about that once we see it, because the one we just put up this week was about the first two movies, The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. So make sure you check that out if you want. The podcast is called John and Jen Go to the Movies, if you're interested in that. But that's enough of an update. I just thought I would tell you. And like, my eyes are super crazy right now. Oh my gosh. So, hey guys. So I'm just doing a quick wrap up for this vlog because I ended up filming a lot of clips and it was great. Mostly what I did yesterday is I did end up binging all of The Witcher. I haven't read the books or played the video games, but the TV show really made me want to read the books. I really enjoyed what I did see. I thought Henry Cavill was great. I thought, I'm sorry, I don't know her name yet, but the girl who played Yennefer, I really liked, she's the woman who was Irina in Twilight, who plays like Yennefer's like mentor teacher woman. I loved her. I loved the Bard was so funny, and I'm a big sucker for like the annoying sidekick that the hero doesn't want to have around, but they keep them around because of reasons, and then they end up caring for each other anyway. And so I loved that. I thought the fighting was really great. I thought it was just the right amount of sexy. Like, it didn't go over the top. Like, I feel okay with suggesting it to people, which is what I was nervous about, because with Game of Thrones, like my friends anyway, it was really hard to suggest it to them because of the violence level and the like sex level. I just don't feel comfortable suggesting it to everyone. And I feel pretty good about Witcher. Like, it wasn't anything that was super uncomfortable, minus like 2 scenes of it. But yeah, that's mostly what I did. And then I'm really going to try to finish, Drums of Autumn tonight, actually. I have about 300 pages left, and we've entered like my favorite part of the story, which I won't spoil just in case, you're doing the read along with me, but I'll spoil it in my review when we get to it. But I am loving it. So that's what I made the most progress on this week, is I've read a ton of Drums of Autumn. And then, yeah, that's pretty much what else there is to wrap up. Besides, you guys knew I finished When the Scot Ties the Knot, which was okay. And then I DNF'd Foundry Side this week. And I think that's pretty much everything. So the last week, there won't be a vlog next week. It'll be the December wrap up. So we'll talk about everything that I read. I've been reading a ton of like Kindle Unlimited still. Like, wow, I have a lot of those to talk about. But that's kind of everything. Oh, I did see The Rise of Skywalker as well. And I will probably be putting up a little mini spoiler review for that, because all of the things I want to talk about are complete spoilers. But granted, just take this with a grain of salt. I'm not a diehard Star Wars fan. In fact, I didn't really get back into it until The Force Awakens came out, and I really liked The Force Awakens. And there were parts of The Last Jedi that I really loved. And so The Rise of Skywalker, I had a good time, but I'm not someone who cares too much if things are technically perfect or, you know, totally consistent. So I think if you're a die-hard Star Wars fan of the originals, you probably won't like this, but I'm more of a new breed of Star Wars fan. So there were things I really liked. So I'm going to do a little mini spoiler review because I really want to talk about some things. But then if you don't care or you don't want to be spoiled, you don't have to know. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thanks so much for watching. I put up new videos every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. And you can watch some more of those videos right now. Bye!